Sunny Wanani. Hello everybody, welcome to another very exciting episode. I am Spelele Jamini and welcome to Business Talk South Africa.
Today we are speaking about property investment.
Hi everybody, it's Sanile again here, the co-host of this lady here.
So welcome.
Calling me co-host today.
It's our show.
We love real estate.
Yeah. We watch a lot.
real estate shows.
Again, this is our favorite segment. It is In Conversation. I am your co-host, Spelele Jamini.
Hello, my name is Tanya Mukwamu. I'm an IT professional and property investor, and I look forward to this chat.
Hello everybody, welcome to another very exciting episode of Business Talk South Africa. I am your co-host Pelele Jamini, and today we're going to talk about real estate. This is one of the things that it's my other career paths, ne? So I have many questions. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll let the rest of the audience, panel you know them.
Hello everybody, it's Sanile here again, your co-host. Yeah, I'm also very excited. We love real estate. We watch a lot of real estate shows. But TV and reality are not the same thing. So we're gonna find out today what the differences are. But we are gonna ask you a lot of questions because we're very passionate about this.
So like I'm gonna get drilled today.
That's it is. All right, so let's find out about a little bit about Tebogo and a little bit about the business.
Okay. Do I speak to the camera to you?
We're just in conversation.
So already know my name. I go by the name of Tebogo Moloi. I am the founder and principal practitioner in real estate at Moi-Afrika Real Estate, which is your #1 real estate agency firm in South Africa. So if you don't know about us, or you didn't know about us, I'm glad that I've just told you, and now you know about us.
Yeah.
So we do consider ourselves as the #1 real estate agency brand in South Africa. Yeah, because what we've seen is that the current real estate market, it's dominated by the old generation, and the way of selling is changing. So now sales are moving more digital, and who's good with the digital platforms is the young people. So what we're gonna capitalize on is to have more young people in our company to capitalize on innovation. So it's not just young people. So our company currently is less than a year old, but we have like engineers and other different professions within real estate agents. You know, people have questions like, what does engineering got to do with real estate? Exactly. But fortunately, I'm an engineer myself, so I know the capabilities. You know, not just within engineers, but we've seen difference between candidates who actually come from varsity or tertiary institutions compared to the ones that maybe are fresh from high school or got different experience. Sure. So the ones that normally are from tertiary, we don't have to work on their professionalism. They've already been trained, and they've proven that they can accomplish something.
Sure. How old is the company?
Moi-Afrika.
Yes.
Moi-Afrika, it's more than 6 months now. But I've been in the industry for more than 5 years. We just that it's only this year where we decided to be fully independent, because in real estate there are requirements. You don't just become a property practitioner. So another delay was to get all those licenses, and then fortunately by beginning of this year we had everything, and then
I just want to say congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So I wanted to know, because my reference is all of the TV shows on Netflix. Speak about the licensing. What is it? Do you have to have a broker's license, or because those are the words that I know, but please explain it for the audience.
So like in international terms, they call it the broker's license. So that's how everyone internationally understand it. So in South Africa, the license, we call it an FFC. It's a fidelity fund certificate that you need to comply with the PPRA. It's Property Practitioners Regulatory Authority. So there's a procedure. You don't just join and already you are fully qualified. So when I started, the first requirement was to be registered with an already established estate agency firm for at least 12 months. After 12 months, you complete a logbook. There's a course, they call it Real Estate NQF4, that you need to do. However, there's an exception when you've got a degree. They can exempt you for that. So fortunately, I got exempted for that course. I didn't have to do it. Yeah, because I did engineering. I just had to submit the logbook, and after submitting the logbook, then I've written the exam. So once you've passed that exam after 12 months, but recently it has changed. They've reduced the time frame to 6 months. So once you've passed the exam, then you actually become a full status property practitioner. That's how we call it. Most people are still not that familiar with the term property practitioner. So the board for real estate has changed from Estate Agency Affairs Board to Property Practitioners Regulatory Authority. So that's why now we're not estate agents, we are property practitioners. Yeah, so I know most people are still a bit confused. Yeah, within those lines, but that's where the property practitioner is coming from. Then if you want to own your own agency, there's also another course. It's a NQF for PDE 5. If you want to own your own agency, because you have to register as a principal, you need to complete that course. After completing that course, then you can register maybe as a director in a company. Then you can register as a principal. From after then, you have to write an exam. After passing that exam, you become a master practitioner in real estate. I think I've summarized it pretty well.
You
for you.
have.
Yeah.
On a bit of a lighter note, because going in now. Moi, what does it stand for?
Moi.
Yes.
I get that question a lot. Can I do it differently? Can I ask how you relate to it first and how she relates to it first?
Okay. How I relate to it, I'm just thinking it's Afrikaans. Like Moi is nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, nice Africa. I think it's in Afrikaans. Nice. That's how I relate to it.
Yeah, I just thought that the letters mean something. M stands for something, O stands for something, I stands for something. So I'm expecting you to break it down.
Oh, so
but now I wasn't thinking of the African thing. So I guess
yeah. I think the reason I'm asking you first to say it is because what I've realized that everyone relates to the brand, but differently. Which is it fulfill our purpose, because we're talking to people. It's not our brand. The brand is for people. I like how people can relate to the brand differently. So I'll start with the explanation. Moi-Afrika is not just Africans, even Kokasi, like Kasital.
The Moi.
Yeah, we relate to Moi as beautiful. You know, I remember when we were growing up, when we see a beautiful lady with Moi Lomtanalo. Yeah, so I'm from the township as well. So that's the kind of language that we use in the township. Moi is beautiful. In Afrikaans, you can relate to it. But to break it into context on how I came with the name. So the name simply means African. I'll explain to you why. In my home language in Sotho, African is Moi-Afrika. Yes. And then I've realized that Moi-Afrika might be maybe too popular, or maybe not everyone is Sotho. Some people might not understand it. We wanted a brand that it can communicate to the entire African continent. And then I've decided to add my last name letter, I. I'm Moloi. So people from my family, they relate to the name as Moi-Afrika. Yeah. But what I like is that it speaks to everyone, because we created the brand for the people, especially after realizing that the real estate agency industry, currently there are less black people who are in the industry, not just young people like our race on its own. There are very less black people, especially the ones that are owning agencies. Most, maybe 80% who are there, they are working for the other brands. Yeah, so we wanted to bring about change, and we're only getting started.
I just want to stay on branding, because as Lily has mentioned, we watch a lot of these shows, and I know that they maximize on branding as well as digital, right? I think the industry has moved a lot into that. Right. So what is the importance of branding? Like, why is it so important when it comes to real estate?
Okay, branding, it differs. It depends. Branding as myself as an entrepreneur or branding for a company?
I think you can answer from company and then to individuals.
I think it starts from you as an individual. In order for me to give you my 1 million rand property for you to sell it, I need to trust you. You know, if you already have a brand as a property entrepreneur or as a property practitioner, it's easier for me to give you business.
Yeah.
That's how I actually started building my brand. Started on social media. Even now, those who know me, they know like my social media is full real estate. Yeah, it's not just business, it's even my personal life. Yeah, when I talk, it's real estate. So it starts from your personal brand. People, they need to know you as an expert within the industry so that they can trust you with their most valuable assets, which is real estate. Because they can't just ask anyone to assist them. Remember, when you're selling a property, on average, it's a like 3 months process. You know, so during that 3 months, you wanna deal with someone that is professional and you can trust. Yeah, so number one, that is the personal brand. You need to work on your personal brand. Most importantly, on your professionalism. Yeah, professionalism is very important in this industry. From that, moving to the company, real estate agency it's a highly competitive industry. It's highly competitive. If a client is calling you now, you can't pick up, you call them 5 minutes later, they've already given business to someone else. So branding, that's why it becomes critical, so that your brand can stay in people's mind. You know, if they see it everywhere, whenever they want to buy a home, sell a property, or they're looking for a rental manager, they can they can think about your brand before any other brand.
It speaks a lot to our last episode that we did was on reputation management. That's a very, very key area in your industry.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, that everything you're saying is in context with, we have a marketing agency, so we do brand management and all of those things. So it's in line with that. When you're becoming, especially because I think real estate is a personal people business, you are supposed to have your own personal brand established. So now my next question is, when you are choosing people to work with, is it like, I'm really going to reference the TV shows, all those girls, they're wearing high heels, they look, you know, so when you're choosing people to be in your in your business, are you looking at how, I know that their personal brand and professionalism is very important, but like their outward appearance in terms of how they take care of themselves, they are, I don't want to say pretty people, but like,
I think I've just explained it. Move to my answer, because number one, when you are professional, already it's already much easier to, we don't really look at how pretty you are. To me, everyone is pretty. It just depends how can you look after yourself. Everyone is pretty. You know, if you can be professional and dress presentable, that is the most important thing. Because in this industry, when you may be having meetings, you really can't dress just the way you want to. It doesn't have to be formal, but as long as you are presentable and people can respect you, you know, I'm not sure that, you know, people actually treat you based on how you dress.
exactly.
I've seen it several times.
That's how you want to be addressed.
I've seen it several times.
Yeah.
I've seen it several times. I'm not sure that I've answered you.
No, you have.
I have.
Yes.
So we don't really choose on how you should look, how pretty you should
But
be.
you must be neat.
Everyone is pretty. Number one, you must be neat.
You must be neat.
You must be neat and be proficient in speaking, because you need to speak to people each and every day.
Okay, there's qualifications first. Anyways, my next question is more, because I do see that there's I've worked in a real estate company before, but it was a corporate environment. So is there a difference between selling property for corporates, the big companies, and then selling individual, like my personal house? Is there a difference? And how do you classify it for your business? And how do you then see which agents can work with what kind of property?
I think it is different. Mostly the corporates, they are too traditional. So with us, I think I've spoken about having more young people in the business. So we're bringing new concepts, you know, things doesn't necessarily need to be done the way they've always been done. So when you are in a corporate, you're gonna feel the difference. For us, we are very flexible. Our property practitioners, they don't work for us, they work with us. you know. So when you work with us or you're selling under our company, you're not really gonna feel like you're working for someone, because we allow you as well to create your own schedule. Because another nice part is that you get paid when you work. So no work, no pay. If you don't sell, it means you can't get paid. So we're not strict on how often you should be on the field. It's up to you. It depends on you on how much you want to make. Because another thing, the income or commission is uncapped.
Sure. So how's that? How that does then? Because we were watching a TV show recently, and I noticed that this guy has positioned his business like you have positioned your business.
Okay.
But I noticed that there's always a risk of his best agents just leaving. You know, maybe another company poaches them.
Yes.
And all of that. So how do you deal with that risk? And also, what's the contractual agreement when it comes to such things? Since it's like a business working with another business.
So I've seen that often, and most agency owners or principals are always worried about that.
Sure.
So on our side, with our vision, we don't have a problem with that.
Sure.
We're not even worried about it at all, because we're all about empowering other people. You know, I want to see other people grow. If you are a best agent and you grow, at some time you realize that you want to be fully independent.
Sure.
We're fully okay with that. So even in terms of our contracts, we call it an independent contractor agreement. So when you're working with us, because it's not a traditional employment, we sign an independent contractor agreement. So on that agreement, you don't really bind you that you shouldn't leave, or when you leave, this is what's gonna happen. Whenever that you feel like you've spent enough time with us and now you wanna grow or explore other companies, you are free. And also we give you an option, if maybe you go on the other side and you see that the grass is not that green as you expected, you're always welcome to actually come back. So I think how we mitigate that risk is to treat all our property practitioners with fairness and give them flexibility. I'm not anyone's boss.
Okay.
We give you flexibility. Yeah.
Okay. Because we're in South Africa, right? There's probably different places. Do you guys have a location, like an environment where you say we're only going to sell in the East Rand, or do you guys have a specific location? And also, what is the impact of different spaces in terms of value, property value, and all of those things?
Nice question. So for now, we are mainly in Gauteng. Then I'm just gonna break it down on which areas.
Sure.
But for now, we are mainly in Gauteng, but we're not limited to sell in other provinces. Just that for now, that's where we are building our foundation in Gauteng. In the next few months, probably, we're gonna expand to other provinces. And then most areas that we currently have the most listings or do business, number one is the East Rand, your Boksburg and the surroundings. The reason being is because that's where I started when I was building my personal brand and working with the other agents before we opened Moi-Afrika. So we've built a great client base that side. So most of our listings are in the East Rand. And then the second area that we are accessing, or have a few more listings, is Soweto.
Okay.
Then in terms of the difference between the areas, I've seen it. For example, the East Rand, it's a bit slow compared to Soweto or Sandton, Midrand, up to Pretoria East. So mostly Soweto, Sandton, Midrand, Pretoria East, on those areas, properties move fast. Yeah, so that side is busy. We've noticed in the East Rand, is still developing. The nice part about the East Rand is that most properties are still affordable. Yeah. So a location counts. So for example, the areas that are busy, maybe when you're starting, it might be convenient for you to start there if you want to accelerate your growth exponentially. But for long term, you need to look at the places that are developing, like the East Rand. East Rand, we are there for the long term because we know it's developing and there are a lot of new developments. Yeah.
I just want to shift to the consumer's side, so that we can speak to people who are looking at buying houses.
Yeah.
And there's something that's it's thrown around a lot, and I've heard it as well. It's difficult to buy a house. Why is there that connotation, and also what do I need when I'm looking to buy a house?
Okay, that's a nice question. It's actually it's very difficult for most people.
Yeah,
Because now, if you wanted to buy a car, you can even get it within a day.
sure.
But for a house, number one, your credit history is the main priority. So that is the first thing that they check.
Sure.
Before we even go to your payslip and your bank statement to check how much you earn. The first thing that we check is your credit payment behavior. Have you taken any credit? Are you paying on time?
Sure.
So that is the first thing. Then the credit check, if the credit check is good, then now we come to affordability. So the challenge is that most buyers or people who want to buy properties are facing currently is that they don't qualify for the properties they want to buy due to their high interest rates. Even when their credit score is good, but due to the current high interest rates, most people can't afford to buy properties.
Sure.
That's why, at least in the past 18 months, the real estate industry has been a bit slow in terms of sales, even on the stats. When you compare stats for 2023 and 2022, in 2023 it actually dropped. People couldn't buy properties because of the repo rate or the interest rate is high. So that is affecting most people not to be able to buy houses.
Sure.
And then the credit one, some people, they have debts that maybe sometimes not even maybe being blacklisted or something. If you pay in your accounts but you pay late, it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
If it's due on the first and you pay on the second, that affects your credit history. So what maybe I would tell people who want to buy properties, when you've got accounts, ensure you know the deadline and you pay on time. Because by the time you say you want to buy a house and you're not paying your accounts on time, it's going to affect your application. So more than anything is credit history. Beyond the interest rates, most people, they are not up to date with their payments. That's what makes the rental side of real estate booming. Now sure, it's like some people are not aware the rental side of real estate is booming more than sales.
Sure.
There are a lot of property owners that want to rent out their properties and they don't have time to manage them. That's where we come in. We help them to find tenants and manage those properties. And there are a lot of tenants who can't qualify to buy houses, but they can qualify to rent.
Yeah, that's I've seen people being kicked out of rental apartment. Someone's renting an apartment worth 40,000 rand, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
The rental is booming. Trust me, it's booming.
Yeah, but also just to stay here. So here I am, just a scenario. Here I am. I can afford, but my credit score is not good. Do you guys then take me through a process, or do you say no, you can't afford, or do you take me through a process to help me improve my credit score over the period of 6 months or a year or whatever? Do you guys have programs like that?
So what we do, we work hand in hand with bond originators.
Okay.
So when we see that you can't qualify, but we can help you to actually fix your credit history.
Okay.
It's not through us directly. Our bond originator will actually guide you through the process on what you need to do, what debts you need to cover, maybe what is the time frame.
Sure.
Then after maybe 3 months or 6 months, they can say that it's fine, you can apply again and we see. Before you even apply, we do a pre-qualification to check the possibilities of you qualifying, which is done by our bond originators as well. So yes, if you can't, our bond originator can actually assist you and guide you through the process until you can qualify. Then once you can qualify, we do another pre-qualification. From then, if everything is good, your income is great, you can afford, that's when you can start with the application of a specific property.
Sure. Last question from my free consultation. Would you advise me to put my house under my business or keep it under personal?
It depends on the end goal. For example, if it's just the house for you and your family, there's nothing wrong if it's under your name personal. However, if it's for an investment, maybe you don't stay in it, you want to rent it out, it's much better to do it under a company. The reason being, after a few properties, you can use that company to actually apply to buy more properties, and it is easily scalable. compared to the house being registered under your name, and if it's under a company, it's an independent organization. If you've got debts, they've got nothing to do with the company. Yeah. What most investors do, they open a trust, but that's one I would only advise once maybe you have at least 5 properties, because the cost of maintaining a trust are quite high. It doesn't make sense to have one property under a trust and we have to pay those costs.
Yeah, no, I needed that.
Yeah, no.
But just to add on that, to add on that, a trust, it helps you because even let's say you've got properties under a trust, even when you die, they don't freeze. The business can continue to run, because in a trust you don't own your trust. You are a trustee. So when something happens to it, doesn't affect the business because it's under a trust. That's what most property investors do.
Yeah.
And you can have different trusts. You can have a family trust and a business trust. Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice. All right. Thank you. This is very valuable information.
You're welcome.
I just want to ask, because at the beginning you said that there are different types of people in your company, like engineers and could you please break down the company structure and then the different people that are building it and what their roles are?
Okay. I think for now it's you wanted to ask something else?
No.
Okay, I think for now it's simple and straightforward, as we're still not that big, we're still growing. So the company, it's got myself as the principal, responsible for all the compliance, and training property practitioners, because when you're a principal, you can train and assist other property practitioners to become full status and get their licenses. So I'm there as a principal to sign whatever paperwork that's got to do with compliance, and then myself as a principal, I do trainings as well, and then from then we've got an admin team. For example, for new recruits, we do have someone who's dedicated to screen applicants, or maybe interact with applicants, the ones that are interested in real estate. So we do have that on the admin team, and we also have an admin for property listings and rentals. So that person deals with rental application. When you receive a rental application, for rentals we do screening as well, so it's not just sales. Even for rental we do screening as well, and from my experience I've seen it being useful, because when I started, there are a few tenants where I would put them in a property without doing screening, just because they've got the money. People will call and say, well, I've got money now. I'm like, hey, I can't let this go. Then I take the money, but 3 months, 6 months down the line, the owner of the property will be complaining because that person is not paying rent. When they move out, the property is messed up.
Yes, that's true. So sorry, I'm gonna come back to my consultation.
It's fine.
The structure.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was still on the structure. Yeah. So let me finish up on the rentals. When you've screened the applicants that I've screened, and we've checked their mostly rental payment history, it's much easier for an applicant who has been paying rent somewhere else, so we can check their rental payment history. We also do check credit history even on rentals. What we've seen is that the tenants that got good credit history and rental payment behavior, they will never give you problems. 99% chances. The one that you don't screen, or you screen, maybe they are blacklisted or they've got debts, 90% chances they're gonna give you problems.
Issues.
Yeah. So from the admin side, I think I've explained that. Then we've got our property practitioners. Those ones are independent. For now, they report directly to me because I'm the one who does the training. Yeah.
All right. And then, I think this conversation, I'm asking from the business, he's asking from the consumer.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's perfect.
So then who does the marketing of the company? Are you doing it on your own, or do you, how does that
For now, we do it on our own. Yes, we do it on our own.
Has real estate trained you well in marketing? Because the marketing is good. I've been on the page, and how has it? Yeah.
So we've been on our page.
Yeah.
Someone who's doing marketing. Is it
Yeah, no.
Is it proper?
It's coming. It's good. It's
Oh,
good. Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay. I
So
take that
wanna-
as a compliment.
No, it's very good. So,
We can here's a free offer on set. We are offering to do a free audit for you so that you can see where to improve.
yeah.
We'll do that for you for
Yeah,
free.
that would be nice. Yeah, much appreciated.
So I wanted to understand, how has your previous experience before you had Moi-Afrika
Yeah.
assisted you in how you are presenting on social media, the company?
Yeah. I think beyond my experience in real estate, because that alone taught me a lot. Beyond that, when I was still a student at UJ, I used to run a company called Brand Day Digital Media. So we were selling and branding clothing like your hoodies, t-shirts, caps, and also we did company logos, company profiles, social media ads. I was doing that by myself. So I think that's when I've learned a few strategies on branding and social media management, because I was doing everything by myself for different people, different companies would print flyers, business cards. So that side I've learned from that company when I was still a student. Then when I moved to real estate, I've learned a lot about marketing. Real estate is pure marketing.
Sure.
Pure marketing. I think it's 90% marketing. Markets. Either you're looking for home sellers, home buyers, tenants, landlords. It's marketing. It's pure marketing.
It's
So
relationships.
I've learned there. Yeah.
Last question, sorry. And then, no, it's okay. We'll come back to it.
All right. So I wanted to. So I do have a property that I rent out to people. That's why I'm consulting.
Congrats.
So that's why
That's big,
I'm
man.
consulting
Yeah,
so much.
that's big, yeah.
With you, but I just wanted to find out. Say I wanted to move the property to be managed by you guys and managing tenants and all of that.
Okay.
What's the process? What does it look like? What are you looking for?
That one is simple and straightforward. Number one, it depends whether you wanna keep your tenant or you want us to find you new tenants.
Okay.
So let me explain. If you want to keep your tenants, then we'll need to have a mandate to say that we are your managing agency
Sure.
for this property. And then because we already have tenants, we are flexible. We can negotiate in terms of, do you want us to screen them or they've been paying rent and you know that you can trust them?
Sure.
Yeah, but you're just gonna need their paperwork for compliance, like your ID. Recently, part of our compliance requirements, it's a proof of income tax, like your IRP5. It's part of government FICA compliance. That's why we're just gonna need those paperwork and then we sign a mandate. From there we can take over. So what we're gonna help with, we send them monthly statements. If there's a maintenance issue, you won't have to receive a call at 12, because I know tenants can call even at 1. So yeah, we're gonna take all those punches on your behalf. So we're just gonna give you maybe reports or monthly statements on the high level. Okay, this is what is happening. We've got a complaint with this, it needs to be fixed. Then we've got a quote from these suppliers. Are you happy with them? Or you wanna bring a quote from your own suppliers to fix whatever maintenance issue that is there.
All right, cool. So, how have you managed to manage different types of relationships? Because from what I'm understanding, in terms of marketing, business, and working with people, you have to have long-standing relationships with the, property owners, with tenants. So how do you manage that? Because I know personally people become overwhelming. Yeah.
That's correct. I think it's part of paying the fees. I call it paying the fees. Yeah, I've paid the fees. I'm still paying the fees. I say paying the fees because when you're building a business, you're gonna come across a lot of challenges. So when you come across those challenges, it's part of paying the fees. I don't really see it as challenges. I'm just paying the fees for me to actually grow. So I've started earlier when I was still a student. So I've told you about the business where I used to sell t-shirts, doing branding. So that's where I've paid most of my fees, and I've learned and I've learned about working with people. I've learned how to interact with different people. It's even beyond that. Even on my personal life, when I was in university, I used to host parties, I used to invite people, So I've just been a people's person. So I've learned that. I've also worked in retail. You wouldn't even believe when I was doing my first year, I was doing stock taking at ShopRite and Game. You would count like sweets.
There's no
One,
better
two,
way to
three.
be.
Yeah. So that's where I've learned, because sometimes when you're working there, no one is taking you serious. Yeah. So we need to learn how to mitigate that and then how to keep calm and not react.
Yeah.
So I've worked in retail, like I was doing stock taking like your ShopRite or Game. Third year, I worked at Town. So my first big paycheck was 1,800. Yeah.
You're born.
Yeah. I was balling that weekend. I was the one who was buying drinks.
Yes.
Well, yeah, because like varsity days, yeah.
Sure.
I had 1.8. It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was my first time receiving 1.8 in my account, and I've worked for it. So then that first weekend of that, I actually blew it. I blew it. I was actually too excited, and also first year I was good with drawing. I used to sell drawings when they give us assignments. I would say, come, I'll do it for you for $20. So I've been hustling. So I've learned to build relationships from there. And then
So the business person has always been there.
it's always been there. Way back then, even from primary.
Yeah.
Way back then, it's always been there.
That was actually my next question. Yeah. So, in terms of when you were employed, did you have a timeline for yourself to say, I'm not going to do this past 10 years, past 5 years? How did you plan your transition from employment to business owner?
So when I started, remember I just told you about my hustles while I was still a student. So when I was still studying industrial engineering, I feel like they sold us dreams. I thought first year after varsity, I'll be driving every car, I'll be having a nice house. But when I get to the other end, I was like, I don't think this is gonna work for me. Beyond that, I looked at the people in my field who are 10 years, 20 years ahead than. Then I asked myself, do I want to see myself at that position in 10 years, 20 years? The answer was no. I was like, it means that I need to change direction. Because this is not going to work for me. Initially, I thought it's got to do with the company. I firstly worked at a chemical industry for 6 months. I didn't like chemistry from school. So I thought it was the company. I've changed companies, fortunately. I moved to another company. My preferred working space. When I got there, I was like, nah, it's not about the company. This is just not for me. And there's nothing wrong about my field, my job. It's just that it was not for me. I wanted flexibility, which is what I have now. But it comes with a lot of punches that you have to take.
Like that.
It's liberty that comes at a price.
Exactly. Because when I was working a job, I'm there Monday to Friday. Weekend, I'm free. I don't have to even think about it. But with business or real estate, it's there for you every day. If there's a problem on Sunday evening, you need to solve it.
Yeah, no, you're preaching to the choir.
You need to solve it.
We do open up the floor for questions. So if there are any questions, we will take them from the floor. So is there anyone on the floor with a question for the gentleman? There we go.
Okay, I heard you saying the company is mostly populated by young people.
That's correct.
Yes. So my question is, how do you then, as a young company with young people, trying to, what's the right word, but bypass these laws, these whatsoever that are there that we don't qualify for them?
Okay.
So how do we then get to be there as young people? What is the laws are taking us off? So you as a young company that has young people, new skills, how do you then bypass the system so that it accommodates half of South Africa, because it only takes 20% of South Africans that industry.
It's far less than that. It's not even 20%. It's far,
How do they talk to us?
It's far less than that.
In Gaza, in the ground.
So we don't even have to bypass the process. We don't have to bypass the process. Number one, it's got to do with attitude. you know, because there are some people who claim that they want to do this, then you give them an opportunity and they play with it. So the industry, okay, currently, as you say, I know it is, there's something they call gatekeeping. It is like that. So another reason for that, I know it's the expenses of running a real estate agency are high. Even you as an individual, when you start, you will need fuel to move around or money for transport, airtime, internet. So most people, they don't have that. And with most current estate agencies, the fees to even just join to become a property practitioner are high. So the first thing that we do is to reduce those fees, because when you look at those fees, they shouldn't really be that high. You know, so the first thing that we do is to reduce the fees. We can't cut it to zero because we still have to pay for your license. In the future, we wish that we can cut it to zero so that we cut that barrier. But for now, at least, we reduce those fees so that it doesn't become a barrier to most people. And it's far lesser than what most agencies they want for you to become a property practitioner. And in terms of compliance, you don't really have to bypass the system. Compliance is not something difficult. I've done it myself. So within our company, we're not gonna complicate things for you. We help with the full training. You just have to show up.
No, my question is based on the consumer side, not people who want to be in the
Or on the consumer,
with
The home buyer.
the people who want to buy properties.
We have problems.
Yeah.
And what I'm asking this because the people who qualify to buy those, it's either they are Moloi, they are with a very big reputation, they are on their 50s, 60s, so talking about youth.
That's true.
So where
That's true.
no credit score,
Yeah.
nothing. How do you then? Because I want to see how are you different from all these people who have been there, as much as we are young as Moi-Afrika, but how do you then communicate to us young people and accommodate us without credit?
The most important part for your question is information. What we've seen that a lot of people, they lack information. Some is not like maybe they can't buy a house, but they just don't have information on how to go about it. So what we do currently, we are pushing social media so that we educate people about property. That's the first thing. You need to understand it first before you can even think about buying a property. So the main thing that we are doing currently is to access a lot of young people through social media, and we also do some educational content. Of course, as time goes by, we're still gonna do a lot of webinars and seminars for awareness so that people they know what to do, so that people they know that they can actually buy properties. And there's also, I'm not sure whether you've heard of subsidy, FLISP, from the government. So that on that side, the government is playing its part, but people don't know about it. The best thing we can do is to educate people and raise awareness so that people they know that these are the opportunities that are there.
And then
That's the least we can do for now. Surely in the future we can do more, but for now we've got limited resources. Yeah.
Thank you.
Are you answered?
Yes.
okay, so just to add on from that answer, I have in my area where I live in Midrand, there was another property that opened up. So I wasn't sure if, and it was government subsidized. So they were a pay grade to say if you're in this pay grade, they pay like 50% and then you pay the rest.
Yeah.
Is that who develops those kind of businesses? Is it fully government funded, or do companies like yourself then go and say, okay, we're investing in this property, then you ask the government to add into the rental? Like, how does that actually work?
So normally the government, they are the one who actually provide the funding depending on how much you qualify for. The last time I checked, the cap was you shouldn't earn more than 22,000 rand. I'm just not sure that it has changed. You shouldn't earn more than 22,000 rand, and you should have at least one dependent, someone that you support on a monthly basis. Then for someone who's earning is from 3.5 to 22,000. For someone who's earning 3.5 per month, they qualify for a larger amount compared to someone who's earning 21,000. So it varies based on your income, and it helps a lot. There's a property we just recently sold for 550,000, and then the buyer got approved for the FLISP, which he also used some of that money to pay the attorney fees. Remember, when you buy a house, another barrier, people don't have the upfront cost, because when you buy a house, you need the once-off cost. So at least that fees can help you as well to take some of the money and pay for the attorney fees.
Sure. I think at some point we have to come back
Yeah.
to this conversation, because there's a lot. I mean, we can open up another chapter of speaking about those upfront fees and what's needed.
Yeah.
But because of time, we cannot really go there right now.
Yeah.
I just want to know what the future is for Moi-Afrika. I mean, 6 months, I believe you guys are doing one. I like the numbers in real estate.
Is it?
It's about millions.
Yeah, the numbers.
Throw
the
big
numbers
numbers
are
around, so it's really nice. But what's the future for Moi-Afrika? What's the vision going forward?
So the vision is straightforward. We want to be the most preferred real estate agency firm in South Africa. So of course, our industry marketing is very expensive. We don't really have a full plan on how we're gonna do it, but we know that in the next coming few years, you'll see our brand in each and every province in South Africa. So when we say we are the number one real estate agency firm in South Africa, that's our vision. We want to be the most preferred, and most importantly, we want to help a lot of young black people, to be specific, to know about the industry and to discover and take advantage of the opportunities, because most of us, we don't know about the opportunities within real estate. When I used to tell people I left my job for real estate, they didn't take me serious. Like, how possible? How possible? Keep your job. Yeah, exactly. Because for them, most people don't understand. Even now, most people don't understand how the real estate agency industry works. So, we want to make an impact to ensure that we raise awareness from the townships. Even when you're in the township, you can become a property practitioner.
Nice.
So we care mostly about the people, and to be honest, I know some of the agencies, even the big agencies, most of our people are being unfairly treated. I know, because I interact with agents. When they tell me their systems, the way things are done in their agencies, most of them are mistreated. So I want to create a platform that for each and every property practitioner, they can freely trade with fairness. We treat everyone with fairness, regardless of race. We're not even about race. We don't care what is the color of your skin. We just want to create a stable platform that provides fairness for each and every property practitioner, and we are transparent about everything.
Awesome. We've got another question in the audience. Please come forward.
And Robia.
My question is, do you guys do rent to buy? And what are the advantages and disadvantages of rent to buy? No, man. Rent to own. Yes.
Yeah, it's fine. It's still rent to buy. It's fine. We actually get that question a lot. For now, we don't do the rent to buy. However, just to give you maybe context on how it works. So normally, when it's a rent to buy, you sign a lease agreement that you are renting the property for 24 months. Then after 24 months, you're gonna buy it. The rent that you've been paying for 24 months, after 24 months, you're gonna use that as a deposit. So it's gonna be calculated. If the property is 500,000, the total rent you've been paying, it's 120,000 for 24 months. That 120,000 is going to be a deposit, and it's going to reduce the amount. If it was 500,000, it's going to be 380. The advantages is that you rent, but you're going to own it in the future.
Yeah.
That's how I understand it.
Yeah.
Disadvantage?
Disadvantages, I'm not too sure about it.
Yeah.
I can just maybe have an opinion, because you can rent 24 months. If after 24 months you don't qualify to buy the house, and then it's a loss, because you still need to qualify after 24 months.
That
is a big
disadvantage.
But if you allow the person to rent after checking the qualify, they rent and then they will find out later they qualify.
I can check for you now that you qualify, and you do after 24 months, you no longer qualify. Now you are blacklisted.
Because of your credit rating.
Yeah.
Because then you stop paying for the car.
Yeah,
And the phone.
it's actually the other way around. For people who don't qualify, they do get an opportunity to rent to buy. with the plan of fixing their credit history. Then in 24 months, they are confident that their credit history is going to be fine. They will qualify then. But you can start renting before even qualifying. After 24 months, then it's within you. It's a responsibility to ensure that you qualify. If you don't, then it also depends on the contract terms and conditions. But if you don't qualify, or don't qualify,
if you are disciplined.
Yeah.
This requires
yeah, exactly. Sometimes not even discipline. Sometimes life happens.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Yeah, we didn't plan it. Life happens. Yeah.
There's a question. Oh, she's playing with her.
But I think you
Oh, yes.
So I know you said you started Moi-Afrika in 6 months. The question I wanna ask is that when you were starting your career in real estate, what are some of the things you wish you knew?
When I started,
Yeah.
I actually answered the other way around. I'm glad I didn't know them because I was not gonna join the industry. So most of the things I know, I'm glad I didn't know them.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, it's not that easy, especially when you own the agency. Remember, each and every problem as a principal or the owner of the company, you need to solve it. One of your property practitioners, when they do a mistake,
it's on you. Yeah.
it's on you. You need to solve it. So some of those things, if I knew earlier, probably I was gonna be doubtful about starting. So I'm just glad I didn't know. So now I'm fully in, and there's no turning back.
Now I wanted to ask why you carrying this. Now I know it's too.
This was actually this was actually a gift from my grandmother when I bought my first car.
Nice.
She said it's coming from my ancestors. I should always keep it in the car, facing forward. It's guiding me through direction, so I never get lost when I have this. Yeah.
Fair.
We'll take one more. This is the last one.
Yes. Sorry, guys.
I have 6 questions.
6.
I heard you saying, I don't know if I heard you right, to pay your people in commission. So it means if I don't sell a house,
No work, no pay. That's another challenge most property practitioners are facing, or most people don't join the industry. Talk about 2 months, it can be 12 months without anything. Yeah. Because
you join because you want to work. You can't force people to buy, right? If they don't buy today, they won't buy tomorrow. They're waiting for their loan to be paid. They'll buy. So it means I won't eat for the 6 months.
so that's why I've talked sorry to interrupt, brother. I've talked about attitude at the beginning. So you need to have a positive attitude and be willing to be patient. In this industry, we wait. Hence, I say it can be 12 months. There's a property I've sold, when was it? Last year, February. It's not registered even today. We're still waiting for our commission. How many months? We are approaching 2 years now.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of problems within the real estate industry. Remember, the process of transferring a property, it's on average 3 months, and there are attorneys involved. They do a deed search and all the legal work. So there are some of the legal challenges that are there within a specific property. For example, the one that we are selling is called, they call it an interdict. Okay. So you can't sell that property until someone signs this letter. You go to the municipality, they send you to a different department. It's just been back and forth for more than a year now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We need a master class.
So you do get some of those deals. Yeah.
No, we really need a master class.
On real estate.
Yeah, it's
Can't take
definitely a
enough
lot.
No, but afterwards you guys can have a conversation.
Honestly, do you have people who have worked in your company and left because of they couldn't complete payments?
Because it's still new, no. Because we're still new. Definitely in the future, people grow. Definitely in the future, some people, they will grow. Maybe they will want to change careers. It does happen.
Okay.
Hence, I've worked for different companies as well before I even started in real estate. Yeah.
I think that's it. I don't know, Lele, do you have
Now it's a wrap.
That's to say.
I have his number, meow.
Yeah.
When I see my house, I'll call again.
Mr. Moloi, I would really, really appreciate you personally. I've learned so much, which will help me also in my personal business.
Yeah.
So I really, really appreciate it. I've got so many questions.
I understand.
But
The industry is very broad.
yes,
Yeah.
we will take you. We know how to deal. We'll take you to a lunch. We'll grill you. We'll get
Feel free anytime.
So,
Anytime.
but
Yeah,
no,
anytime.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you
We
so
really
much.
appreciate it. Thank you for everyone who arrived. All of the questions, I will really appreciate it. And thank you to you who's watching on YouTube. We love you, and we'll see you next week. Every Thursday we drop an episode, 7 p.m. Ciao, cheerio.